All right, you lovely lot. Emily Bennett here, and today I've got a fun one for you. So, picture this. I was feeling a bit under the weather the other day, one of those can't get out of bed colds where even tea doesn't seem to fix you up. I'm curled up under my duvet, husband James beside me, and we're scrolling through Netflix, trying to find something to watch. And what do we settle on? The Wolf of Wall Street. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Leo DiCaprio in that film, absolutely smashing it. But as we sat there watching Jordan Belfort throwing money around like confetti, I couldn't help but think, there's actually a lot to unpack here. Sure, he's a rogue, and the movie's full of excess, and some very questionable morals. But if you look past all the dodgy dealings and madness, there are some real lessons we can take away from it all. So, grab a cuppa and get comfy, because I'm about to break down what we can actually learn from the Wolf of Wall Street, without ending up in handcuffs, of course. 1. The power of sales. Sell me this pen. Let's start with the power of sales, because that's at the heart of this film. You remember the scene where Jordan says, "Sell me this pen?" Now, that's more than just a clever line. What he's really talking about is understanding people's needs and creating value. Here's the thing. Whether you're in finance, retail, or running your own business, sales is everything. But it's not just about flogging a product. It's about solving someone's problem. That's the real trick. When Jordan says, "Sell me this pen," he's not asking for a clever sales pitch. He's asking someone to understand why he needs it. I remember when I first started my YouTube channel, I wasn't just chucking out videos for the sake of it. I had to think, what do people need? What problems can I solve for them? And that's how you grow, by offering value, not just selling stuff. So, lesson number 1 from our mate Jordan? Learn how to sell, but more importantly, learn how to solve problems for people. It's all about understanding the need behind the product. 2. Confidence is key. Believe in what you're doing. Next up, confidence. Now, say what you want about Jordan Belfort, but the man had confidence coming out of his ears. He believed in himself, even when the odds were stacked against him. And while I'm not saying you need to start shouting in boardrooms or throwing cash at your problems, seriously, don't do that. There's something to be said about believing in your own abilities. When I was starting out in the finance world, it was tough. I'd walk into meetings and be the only woman in the room, or sometimes the youngest. It's intimidating, but the one thing I learned early on was to back myself. Confidence isn't about being loud or arrogant. It's about knowing your stuff and having the self-assurance to say, "I've got this." Think of it like this. If you don't believe in what you're doing, how can you expect anyone else to? Whether you're pitching an idea, running a business, or even just getting through your day-to-day, confidence is what sets you apart. And that's something Jordan Belfort had in spades, even if he did take it to the extreme. 3. The danger of excess. Know when to stop. Right. Let's flip things around a bit and talk about excess, because that's where Jordan's whole empire starts crumbling, doesn't it? The yachts, the cars, the mad parties, it all got a bit much. And here's the real lesson. There's always a limit. I remember when I was a bit younger and had just landed a decent job at Barclays. I got my first proper paycheck and thought I was the bee's knees. So naturally, I went a bit mad, splashed out on a posh handbag, fancy dinners, the lot. But after a few months, I realized I was spending way more than I was saving. Sound familiar? Jordan's problem was that he didn't know when to stop. He got caught up in the rush of success and lost sight of what really mattered: his health, his relationships, and ultimately, his freedom. Now, I'm not saying you should live like a monk, but there's a balance to be had. Discipline and knowing your limits are what separate long-term success from short-term thrills. Enjoy your wins, but keep one foot on the ground. Don't get so caught up in the highs that you forget there's always a tomorrow to plan for. 4. Surround yourself with the right people. Here's another gem from The Wolf of Wall Street. The people you surround yourself with matter. Jordan built a team of people who were just as greedy and reckless as he was. And guess what? They all went down with him. In the real world, the people you keep close, your friends, colleagues, mentors, are a massive part of your success. I've learned this over the years. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better, not those who drag you down. I've got a close circle of friends who are all super ambitious, but they're grounded. We cheer each other on, but we also call each other out when someone's heading down the wrong path. Jordan's downfall wasn't just his own greed, it was the greed of everyone around him. So, if you want to be successful, make sure your inner circle is filled with people who uplift you and hold you accountable. No dodgy dealers or yes men allowed. 5. Don't sacrifice integrity for success. And finally, the big one, integrity. We all know how Jordan's story ends. He may have had all the money in the world, but he lost everything because he didn't play by the rules. He cheated, lied, and manipulated his way to the top, and it caught up with him in the end. Here's the truth. Success without integrity isn't really success. You can have all the money, the big house, the fancy cars, but if you've cheated your way there, it'll all crumble eventually. It's like building a house on sand. It looks impressive for a while, but one big wave and it's all gone. In my career, I've always made sure to stick to my values. There have been opportunities where I could have taken shortcuts or made quick money, but I always asked myself, is this how I want to do things? And you know what? Playing the long game, doing things the right way, has paid off every single time. Jordan learned the hard way that integrity is priceless. So if there's one big takeaway from The Wolf of Wall Street, it's this. Don't sacrifice your integrity for success. You'll sleep better, and your success will last. So, what can we learn from The Wolf of Wall Street? It's a wild ride, sure, but if you look closely, there are some real nuggets of wisdom hidden beneath all the madness. Whether it's the power of sales, believing in yourself, or keeping your integrity intact. These are lessons we can all apply to our lives, without the chaos, mind you. What do you think? Any lessons I've missed from the film? Drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe for more videos on life, success, and everything in between. Cheers for watching, and remember, stay grounded, stay disciplined, and keep your integrity strong.